Hollywood is not noted for taking risks with movies, but maybe Hollywood should look to its illustrious past and think about it. Can you imagine the scene today where a great established movie maker goes into the studios to pitch his new movie, and you've got a slightly skeptical Hollywood executive? Right, another war movie. Yeah, okay, Vietnam. Oh, World War. That's okay, Nazis. We haven't had them for a while. First World War. Well, France is very scenic. Yeah. Oh, set in Arabia. Yeah, well, Arabs as bad guys. Yeah, the terrorists. The Arabs are good guys. Well, maybe if we had Stallone or Schwarzenegger. Oh, it has to be an English guy. Yeah, well, we could do that. Michael Caine or Sean Connery. You want to put an unknown Englishman in this? Yeah, well, for 2 hours on screen, that's a long time. 3.5 hours? Are you crazy? I mean, this is a low-budget picture, right? $100 million? Woo! Let me see if I got this straight. Set with the Arabs as good guys, and it's going to last 3.5 hours and cost $100 million. Right. Now, can we have a hot lady in this for the love interest? The guy is going to be gay? Are you kidding? Who'd go and see that movie? Well, 30 years ago, millions of people did, and still seeing it. The movie is called Lawrence of Arabia. The point is very simple. Hollywood should look to its past, because great movies get made when people take risks. I'll tell you something that really irritates me. It's when these young pop singers make these outrageous statements calculated to get them a bit of extra attention in the newspapers. The other week it was Milli Vanilli. They claimed that they were better singers than the Beatles. Come on, guys. I mean, if you want to talk superlative, they've certainly got the longest hair extensions of anyone in the business, and they do that little cute high five business. I mean, John and Paul never did that on stage. They're not better singers than the Beatles. Trent D'Arby, there's another one. I remember when his first album came out, he made this statement, rather modestly of course, that it was a better album than Sgt. Pepper. When his second album came out, all the reviewers remarked that it was up there with Menudo's Worst Hits, Volume 4. Come on, Terence. My favourite outrageous statement, though, came from this one-hit wonder guy from the 60s, Crispy and St. Peter's. He did that song. You sometimes hear it on oldies radio. Follow me, I'm the Pied Piper, follow me. Remember that one? Well, he made this statement right at the height of his fame, all one record. He said, I'm going to be bigger than Elvis, I'm going to be bigger than the Beatles, and I'm going to die in a plane crash by the age of 30. Well, time has passed, and I haven't read his obituary, so I venture to say that since he's about 57, he's missed out on goal number 3. However, it's not too late for the first two, except I think he should update them. I think he should tell us all that he's going to be a better singer than Terence Trent D'Arby and have longer hair extensions than Milli Vanilli.
Andrew Dice Clay. The name is on everybody's lips this summer. Now, it's awfully easy to attack Andrew Dice Clay, and I certainly don't mean to miss the opportunity myself. However, there are, of course, two sides to this debate, and in the interest of fairness, I shall look at both sides. Now, on the one hand, there's all the detractors of the Dice Man who turn around and say, you know, this stuff is ridiculous. He's attacking gays, he's attacking women, you can't allow it. Well, my friends, those liberals who are saying that are the very people who in the 50s, 60s, 70s and 80s were defending the right of Lenny Bruce, defending the right of George Carlin to say what they said. Now, just because you don't agree with Andrew Dice Clay doesn't mean he shouldn't be allowed to say it. So there's no point in censoring him. I think you've got to allow him to say what he says and attack him from other points of view. Now, Andrew Dice Clay does not get off easy here, because I think he, too, is playing double standard. You see, what Andrew Dice Clay does is he gets out in front of that audience, and it turns up in his latest concert movie, and he attacks gays, he attacks women, he's violent about it, and he rides it like it's the Nuremberg Rally. He gets great reactions. Comes off stage, does an interview with a glossy magazine and says, oh, that's nothing to do with me, I'm not like that at all. I mean, that's the Dice Man, that's a character I play, like Archie Bunker. I'm actually a very sweet individual. Well, Andy, baby, I mean, you can't have it both ways. Either you're a macho man and you actually seriously believe that stuff because your audience thinks that's what you do. The audience thinks you're like Richard Pryor, you believe it. In which case you stand up and say, these are my points of view and I believe it, and if you don't like it, go somewhere else. Or you do what I think you should do, which is stand up in front of your audience and say, hey, James Dean did it, Sex Pistols did it, Rolling Stones did it, I'm just being controversial. Of course I don't like these views. These views are terrible. I don't suggest you emulate it at all. Of course, he won't say that to his audience, because then it'd be very simple. Wouldn't have an audience.
There's something really disturbing going on in the world of TV advertising and its use of music. A few years ago, life was very simple. If you were an advertiser, you wanted to sell a product, you came up with a jingle, everybody hummed it, they bought the product. Fair enough, that's advertising. 5, 6 years ago, they started to get sneakier. They started to use golden oldies from the 50s and 60s. Suddenly, your favourite Beatles or Beach Boys song was being used to sell you a pair of sneakers or soap powder or a car. I thought I'd seen everything, but then 2 or 3 years ago, it got even worse. They started going to new artists such as Phil Collins and Genesis and say, can we use your current song and put it on a beer commercial? So 1 minute it's on the radio, next minute it's a jingle. Nothing to it. Last year, it got even worse. Some beer company went to Steve Winwood and said, would you mind writing us a jingle? We'll pay you, and then put it on your album as though it's a new song. Sneaky? Nothing to it. Think what's just happened now. Elton John and Paula Abdul are out there singing a very famous Diet Coke commercial as though it was a new pop song. And they've even got the TV commercial looking like a music video. A little bit on the confusing and deceptive side if you're a 7-year-old kid sitting at home. If it carries on like this anymore, they're going to end up with a new category on the Grammys. Most exploitative use of music to fleece young kids of their money. Let's hope there's no more nominations in that category.
There's an awful lot we're hearing lately about this group, 2 Live Crew. You know, the rap group that had the record As Nasty As They Want to Be, and it was declared obscene in some parts of the country and banned. I listened to that record the other day. You know what? I didn't like it that much. I mean, I found it objectionable and at times offensive, but I certainly didn't find it obscene. And even if I had found it obscene, what difference does that make what I or indeed the government thinks? Nobody should interfere. That's what's wonderful about America, freedom of expression. And if we don't hold on to that, we're on a slippery slope. 50 years ago in Nazi Germany, they had a similar thing. Because, I mean, there was this priest who was interviewed after the war, and they asked him, how did the Nazis get so big in Germany? He said it was very simple. He said when they came to take the communists, I wasn't a communist, I didn't say anything. Then they came to take the liberals. I wasn't a liberal, I didn't say anything. Then they came to take the Jews. I wasn't Jewish, I didn't say anything. When they came to take me, there was no one left to say anything. And that's a very important point for us to learn from. You may not like rap, you may not like 2 Live Crew, you may find the record offensive. But today it's 2 Live Crew and rap music. Tomorrow it could be something that you care about that may be offending somebody else. So I say, as nasty as they want to be, sure, better than that, so that at least we can say as free as we want to be.